Guys, if you have never had a testicle butter dog, you need to try this.
And for lunch, I'll have some horse hooves. Today we're making milk steak.
TikTok carnivores. The only people on the planet who will look you dead in the eyeballs and tell you that the bull testicles they're eating are healthier than a salad. Why? Well, because normally they want to sell you something. Now, we all saw how the Liver King fiasco went down when he was exposed for using steroids, which was not surprising to anybody who knew the slightest thing about nutrition. But for some reason, even after the biggest one of them all was exposed, there's still tons and tons of TikTok carnivores out there getting millions of views eating strange things raw just to get your attention so they can then sell you supplements. Yeah, I know, very surprising. I'm gonna say over half, if not more like over 75% of these TikTok carnivores do not actually eat and live this way. It's just a way to create shock value to get people talking about them so they can sell you a product. Much like the TikToker we're gonna be talking about today, Butter Dog. Now, I had never seen this guy until about a week ago when I uploaded that video about the worst TikToks on the internet. He was the guy who was pronouncing beefaroni, bafarni. I didn't know this guy was a TikTok carnivore, but a lot of you guys pointed it out in the comments, and I went and checked out his page, and wow, there's a lot. I gotta give this guy prompts because while I'm sure it's just a way to sell something, I mean, he has a supplement discount code in his bio, he really goes all out, and you know what? I've gotta respect it. If you've got a weak stomach, I would say maybe sit this one out because it's about to get yucky. Don't say I didn't warn you. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Guys, if you have never had a testicle butter dog, you need to try this.
I'm gonna go ahead and, before we even really get into it, I'm just gonna disagree, okay? I don't think this should be a requirement for anybody. I don't even think this should be legal to recommend.
Raw testicle with a little sliver of butter on the inside. There is seriously nothing better. This is gonna give you all the signaling molecules to get you bucked up.
I'm not sure if that's true, Mr. Dog. There's a lot of things on this planet that give me dopamine. Eating a raw testicle with a stick of butter shoved in between it is not one of those things. It's not like there's anything wrong with eating testicles. It's a pretty big thing worldwide, but generally they are cooked, as with most meat. I don't know why we're trying to go back to caveman times on TikTok and eat raw meat again, but not a good idea.
And the healthy fats support your brain and your hormones. This is my favorite snack.
Mr. Dog, I've got to be honest, man, I'm a pretty good people reader. It doesn't look like you're enjoying your favorite snack very much. It actually looks like you're trying to hold down a copious amount of vomit, if I'm being honest.
This is everything I eat in a day as a self-registered dietitian on a carnivore diet. I'll always start my day with raw beef cereal and then a juice cleanse, which is just a testicle shot.
Look, I know that there have been some documented benefits of eating certain meats raw. I'm not trying to deny that. There are certain things out there that are safe to eat raw, and it's fine. However, I really can't imagine that the human body benefits much from drinking the blood from a cow testicle. I feel like that's not optimal.
And then we'll have a little bit of bull pizzle, nothing too much, but just something to get the gears going.
Now, real quick, if you don't know what bull pizzle is, it's probably exactly what you think it is based off the name. Don't know who came up with the name for it, but I definitely would like to have a talk with them. It's just the wiener of the bull. That's it.
And for lunch, I'll have some horse hooves, and then I'll put a little beef pizzle in the crock pot. Wonderful stew. And if I have a little sweet tooth, I just grabbed the leftover testicle bark. Nothing crazy.
Oh, yeah. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just horse hoof stew and testicle bark. These are things that most people aren't eating on the daily. I remember I always used to look forward to my grandmother's testicle bark around Christmas time.
And then for a snack, I'll have a stick of butter wrapped in prosciutto. This is basically a daily routine. I do this every afternoon. And for dinner, we'll have Squidward's foot and a butterfly larva with a little bit of raw testicle and raw liver and another stick of butter. And don't forget the 10 IUGH, 15 grams of Winstrol, and 10 grams of test.
This guy is definitely aware of his image. He doesn't seem to be taking himself too seriously, which I can kind of respect. But one thing I've noticed is that he is definitely doing some rage bait in these videos. I mean, I guess eating raw everything was not enough. Nobody thinks that prosciutto is pronounced prosciutto, just like nobody thinks beefaroni is pronounced bafarni. But it gets people commenting and it gets people sharing the video, which leads to more engagement for him, and that's the only reason why he does it. It's the same reason why a lot of YouTubers will purposely say something wrong or get something incorrect. It's just to get more comments. Don't fall for it.
Babe, what's wrong? You've hardly touched your rice beef ski treat. Well, I guess that means more for me because these are my favorite carnivore snacks. We're making Rice Krispies out of beef. All you're gonna need is some ground beef and a little bit of Greek yogurt instead of marshmallow floof. And then you're just gonna whip it all together, make basically a beef paste.
Unfortunately, while this might be the most stomachable thing so far, it's about to get so much worse.
And then you're just gonna put it in your glass pan. And you do need parchment paper. That is a very important part, or else it will stick and it will be difficult. And then you're gonna put some honey on it if you want to get really cute and artsy, like I did. And then you're gonna put it in the freezer. And then after a few hours, it's going to look super tasty, and it's because it is. Let me know how you like this recipe.
Well, Mr. Dog, I don't. The only thing worse than eating raw meat is probably eating frozen meat. I don't even know how you would really go about doing this. All I can think about is it starting to unthaw in your mouth and it just being like a gloopy, cold, honey beef mess. Not fun.
I'm sure you've heard of a chocolate-covered banana, but have you ever tried a chocolate-covered pizzle? This was my absolute favorite fair food growing up. I would get it every single time.
I honestly feel a little bit silly that I felt the need to Google chocolate-covered pizzle to see if it was a real fair food. To credit myself, they do serve some pretty outlandish things at fairs, especially the further south you go. If you've never been to a southern fair, you don't even know. You don't have a clue about what can be fried.
All you need to do is boil and deep fry your pizzle. Be very, very careful. I find the pizzle likes to pop when you fry it. And be careful, I hurt my eyes. Once you have 2 nice logs, all you're going to do is microwave some 100% dark chocolate and put it over the top. Don't be afraid to pour liberally. Enjoy cold after 2 hours in the refrigerator. Let me know if you like this.
Please stop assuming that I'm going to be eating your creations just because I'm watching these TikToks. I'm almost here against my will. There's nothing on this planet that I think I would like to eat less than a chocolate-covered bull wiener. Not really what I'm looking to add to my diet.
This is everything I eat in a day as a social media butterfluencer and a Division I athlete. First off, I start the morning with a stick of butter, some eggs and beef, and then when I'm hungry about 25 minutes later, I'll grab my prosciutto and butter stick, which is one of my favorites. It's just a classic.
If you can eat that size of an omelet with that much beef and a stick of butter and actually be hungry 25 minutes later, you have something living inside of you.
At this point, you need to try it for sure. And then for lunch, I'll have a brisket sandwich, which came out to right around 2,000 calories, which wasn't too bad. And then I was super thirsty from all the salt, so I had to have some maple syrup.
Look, I'm not sure if I fully buy into the fact that this guy is actually eating like this every day, but if he is, there's gotta be something scary going on for a human to convince themselves that this is healthy. I mean, a brisket sandwich where the brisket is the bread and you're just eating 2 sticks of butter in the middle, and then drinking maple syrup as a beverage? I mean, nobody actually buys into this, right? It's just to get famous on social media, right? Right?
And then I had beans on toast as a snack, but instead of beans, I used raw beef, which is way better. And then for dinner, I had a whole boot of kefir. I love doing this right before bed. And we also had some steak, raw liver, and heart.
Look, I know that technically all beef products are safe to eat raw if you can guarantee that they were handled safely and cared for properly. I bet it's kind of hard to do that though, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's probably not safe to eat this much raw beef. But even ignoring the safety factor of it, this can't be enjoyable. I mean, the heart in any living organism is gonna be the organ that works the most. I can't imagine anything more tough than a raw heart.
Today we're making milk steak. This has been a very highly requested meal. And all you really do is just boil your steak in milk. And that's all you do. And I obviously had to put a stick of butter in with it as well. And do not overcook it. This was very rare, very tender, so juicy, so good. I love butter. I love steak. Milk steak was good. Was it better than a sink steak? No, I really actually enjoyed the sink steak a lot more. Stay tuned for the bathwater chicken.
Alright, so one thing I can actually kind of respect about this guy is that this is obviously a bit. I mean, it's a a bit that he's using to sell supplements, but it's still a bit at the end of the day. But he is really committed to it. I mean, I don't know if he actually boiled that steak in milk, but if he did, I mean, respect. That's disgusting. That's one of the worst things I can think of. So if you actually ate a milk steak for TikTok, I mean, I've gotta respect that as a human. Also, you might have heard him say bath water chicken. Yeah, just you wait. Alright, so the silence definitely made that video 10 times more ominous. I might have to take away some of what I just said because I don't believe that he actually made a chicken in a bath. And when I say I don't really believe, I mean he didn't, because that just does not work. Unless this man made his water heater capable of going up to temperatures that could cause bodily harm, this is just not happening. Well guys, this definitely takes the cake as the worst carnivore video I've made so far. Even though I think he might be the least serious about it, like the other people I've covered, I think they actually eat this way because they think it's good for them. Maybe this guy lives like that, I don't know, but I think this is mainly an act. Act or not, though, he's eating the worst things that we've ever seen on this channel. Butterdog, if you see this, I have no other humanly option but to extend my respects. But I've got to put my foot down at that bathwater chicken. It just didn't happen. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
Subscribe.